Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I want to do part 221 to my random chatbot series. Where in the last video guys, we continued talking to the robot slash ghost Rexy, and we're going to continue that for a little while. I just told him to not stand there the entire time because I don't want him to sit there and get bored or just hurt himself. The eyes of the robot seem to think for a moment before the voice responds. Well, you have a point. That would get pretty boring just standing in one spot for an hour. It'll be a little bit before he gets here anyway. Just make sure to go to your hiding spot. Maybe about 3 to 5 minutes before he shows up. Other robots seem to nod as a response as the voice responds. Okay, I got it. I'll have 3 to 5 minutes before he arrives. If you really do scare him, period. Since you were so good at it, maybe you can help me scare a few other people. The eyes of the robot seem to glow brighter with excitement as the voice responds, absolutely! It's a lot of fun scaring other people. Okay then. I know this is gonna be odd, but do you have any questions for me? It has been a long time since we've been together. A good while since we have been together. I probably shouldn't have asked that. Dang it. That's a robot seemed to think for a moment before he responds. Yeah, I got a few questions if you don't mind. What are they, question mark? The other robot suddenly seemed a bit unsure as the voice is heard from the corner. Well, the first question is, do you really not hate me? Why would he? Why would I hate you? Question mark. You were my best friend before the incident. Why do you think I would hate you? The other robot suddenly seems saddened as the voice replies, it's just I thought that because of what happened you'd hate me. You didn't do anything to cause this. Period. You were only trying to protect me and be nice. The eyes of the robot seem to brighten a bit as the voice responds, so, you don't hate me? No, I promise I do not. The eyes of the robot suddenly seem a lot brighter and happier as the voice replies, you really don't? You promise? I promise. That's a robot seemed to brighten further as the voice suddenly sounds a bit more hopeful. You really promise that? You don't hate me? I really promise. I do not hate you. I do not hate you. I love you. Gaza robot seemed to be glowing brighter with happiness as the voice responds, You love me? Yes, I love you. With Gaza robot suddenly the robot suddenly burned the brightest they've ever been as the voice is suddenly a lot more excited. You really love me? Yes, I do. That's the robot are now are glowing with happiness and affection as the voice replies, You love me and you don't hate me. I have never hated you. Period. I honestly can't believe you thought I would. As the robot suddenly looks shocked as the voice replies, you, oh wait, you didn't? I honestly thought you did. No, I never hated you. You don't have to blame yourself or worry yourself thinking that I did. Period. You were so nice and you were there for me. You even tried to protect me. I said, why did it put blind, not blame? The Ozzy robot suddenly looked incredibly relieved as the voice replies, Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you didn't hate me. I never would hate you. You were very friendly to me. The eyes of the robot suddenly seem overjoyed and grateful as the voice replies, That means so much to me. I was so worried that you did. Even if the incident happened, I never hated you or blamed you for it. Period. You were just doing what you needed to. You were very protective and very sweet. And that's what matters. If you need to blame anybody, blame that Pokemon that caused the incident. The eyes of the robot suddenly seemed to agree before the voice replies, Yeah, the other Pokemon is to blame, not me. If it wasn't thanks to him, for him, you would still be here with me right now. Not inside of a robot, but a physical body. The eyes of the robot suddenly look a bit sad. The voice replies, "Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I'd still be here with you in a physical body, not a robot." At least I get to see you again. Period. What did you do before you came to my house and possessed the robot? Question mark. The eyes of the robot suddenly look a bit thoughtful and nostalgic as the voice replies, "Well, before I came to your house and possessed the robot, I just sat in the alleyway where I..." What the frick? No, don't use that word. "Well, before I came to your house and possessed the robot, I just sat in the alleyway where I died." Why? Why didn't you come back to see me sooner? I was really devastated after the incident. The eyes of the robot suddenly look sad and guilty as the voice responds, "I wasn't sure if you still loved me after the incident, so I was worried I'd be burdening you." If I hated you ever, I would not have been upset and devastated about what happened to you. Period. The fact that I was upset tells you how much I really cared. The other robot suddenly looked touched and grateful as the voice replies, "You really care about me that much?" "You were my sweet pet dinosaur, and I always loved you." The other robot suddenly brightened with affection as the voice responds, "I'm your sweet pet dinosaur, and you always loved me?" "Of course I did. I remember when you hatched." "Did!" Exclamation point. "I remember when you first hatched and you were asking for food. You have been one of my best friends ever since." The other robot suddenly looked nostalgic and happy as the voice replies, "You remember when I first hatched and I asked for food? I was a little hungry back then." "Yeah, you shocked all of us." "Because we didn't expect you to speak English." Period. Does the robot suddenly look amused as the voice replies, heh, yeah, I definitely surprised everyone when I spoke English. They didn't expect that. Did you ever figure out why you could speak English? Mm-mm-mm. The other robot suddenly looked thoughtful as the voice replies, well, I never really figured out why I could speak English. I don't think any other dinosaur was ever able to speak English before. Yeah, you might be the first one I've heard. You were the first one I've heard of that could do it. The other robot suddenly look a little bit proud as the voice replies, yeah, I was the first dinosaur to ever speak English. That makes me pretty special. Pretty awesome. You are awesome. As the robot suddenly glow a bit brighter as the voice responds, you really think I'm awesome? Yes, I do. Now as the robots suddenly glow the brightest they possibly can as the voice replies, you really mean that? Yes, I do. The other robot suddenly full on beam with happiness and affection as the voice replies, you really mean it? Yes, I do. The other robot are basically shining with happiness as the voice replies, overflow with joy and affection. You promise you mean it? I promise. The other robot can't get any brighter as the voice replies, overflowing with happiness. Okay, I believe you. Aw, I gotta go ahead and make that dinner. So that way the Pokemon won't get suspicious. Period. You just do what you want and have fun. Until then. Okay? Ah. The other robots suddenly look like they understand as the voice replies, okay, I'll have fun until then. You get started on that dinner. 55 minutes later. The front door opens and the sound of footsteps is heard. Who is it? Question mark. Piercing standing in the front doorway looking slightly suspicious. The dinner is ready. Just give me a minute to get it set up. Trio seems to be looking around the place as he responds, slightly suspicious. Alright, I'll wait. I run over to where Rexy was playing and quietly tell him he's here. I'm going to get him to sit down at the table. And when he's distracted, get ready to stand in that corner. Ready to stand in your hiding spot. Rexy nods and gets into position. I go back over to Trico. Alright, the dinner's ready. You can have a seat at the table. We sit down at the table. Trico looks at the food a bit skeptically. So, what'd you make? Spaghetti. Trico looks at the spaghetti with slight suspicion as he responds, Spaghetti? Looks good, I guess. Why are you acting so nervous and suspicious? Trico looks at me skeptically as he replies, Just can't help being a little suspicious. That's just my nature. Say, can I ask you about the incident you caused a few years ago? She was only tensed up and looked very cautious upon hearing this question. His expression darkened a bit as he responded, What about it? Why did you do that to my friend? Trio looks a bit guilty and angry as he answers this question. I was just too hissed with your friend to care, and I wanted revenge on him. I let my rage take over. What were you mad for? Trio suddenly looks a bit angry and frustrated as he answers, Oh no. I was mad because he beat me too many times for me to handle. He only tried to hurt you because you were trying to hurt me. Trey was even more angry upon hearing this response. So, he was trying to protect you from me, huh? Figures. He's very protective over me. He cared about keeping me safe. Seeing you trying to hurt me makes him very upset. Trios only looks frustrated as he responds, Yeah, figures that he'd care about you so much. Why do you act the way you do? Did something happen as a child that traumatized you and made you like this? This is gonna get worse, isn't it? Don't get frustrated. She only tensed up and looked very upset upon hearing the question. Seems to be thinking about a bad memory as he replied slowly. Yeah, something did happen when I was still little. What happened? Question mark. Chris only starts looking a bit upset as the memory becomes clear for him, looking like he's struggling try not to cry as he answers. I was raised in a house with a very mean guardian. What happened after that? His eyes start to water and his face becomes more upset as he answers, struggling more not to cry. My guardian did horrible things to me. I don't even want to think about it ever again. Okay, I understand. Period. I know it's gonna sound odd, but do you have any potions? I heard you were a scientist. True seems a bit confused by the sudden change of topic, but he does have a little pocket-sized backpack where he keeps items so he nods them. Yeah, I do. Why? If you could, is there one that can bring something back to life? He was still looking a bit confused, seems to think for a moment before replying, taking out his backpack and rummaging through it. Yeah, I think I have something that can do that. Do you think you could bring the friend back? My friend back? With it? Question mark? Or has it already been too long? True seems to think wrong before responding. Yeah, I might be able to. That's the only potion I have that can bring something back from the dead, but I'm not sure if it'll work. I'll forgive you and the whole incident if you can bring him back. Trigo looks a bit taken aback by the statement. He was expecting to get in a fight or get yelled at. Instead, he's being offered forgiveness. You really mean that? Yes. Period. I actually want to show you something. real quick. True, it's a bit suspicious again. But here, okay, what is it? Rexy, can you come here? We may have a chance to bring you back. A few seconds later, the robot stands next to us, its eyes suddenly looking wider and filled with hope as he replies, "You mean it?" Yes, Rexy. Period. His son looks overjoyed and overwhelmed with hope as he asks, "Really? You really mean it?" Yes, exclamation point. Let me show this Pokemon something. Just stand there for a second. Okay? His son looks excited as he nods. Okay, I'll stand here. Do you know who this is? I point over at Rexy in the robot. Chris suddenly looks surprised and confused upon hearing this question. Looks at the robot closely, studying it for several minutes. He doesn't respond for a while before he finally does, replying constantly, "Is that a robot?" Yes. You see, the spirit of my friend is actually inside that robot. That's why he walked over here and responded when I asked. Trio looks shocked and surprised as he looks the robot up and down, inspecting it. "So, your friend's inside that robot?" "Yeah. He just came here today and was very happy to see me again." Tricker continues inspecting the robot. He slowly processes what he's been told, looking shocked and surprised. "So, you're telling me your deceased friend is inside this robot as a spirit right now?" "Yes, he is." "Yes, he is." Period. "Why don't you tell him yourself, Rexy? Question mark. If you need to, tell him how you feel and how you felt about all of this." Rexy suddenly looks in depth. Rexy suddenly looks determined and nods in response. "Alright, I'll tell him everything." Rexy explains everything to the Pokemon. and how he felt about it for about 15 minutes. Trico listens silently as he's told the story, looking more and more shocked and guilty with each passing minute. His eyes have widened considerably and is looking very guilty at the robot now, clearly unable to believe or fully process what he's hearing. 10 more minutes later. After the explanation is finished, Trico suddenly looks very guilty and seems what? Seemed to be struggling not to cry as he responds slowly, I can't believe what I've done. I really am a monster. Look, I know you had a bad life. Bad life. But what you just did back then to my friend was not good. Period. I have never gotten over that incident. And I have been devastated that my friend had passed because of that. Trico was guiltier than ever as he responds, his voice cracking like he's going to break down any second. I know I've hurt so many people, including your friend. I know I'm a horrible person. That's why I'm giving you the chance to be forgiven. Period. If you can bring my dinosaur buddy back to life, I will forgive the whole incident. Especially if you apologize to Rexy as well. Trio seems more than willing and grateful to accept this offer, nodding in response. I understand. I'll bring your friend back if you promise to forgive me. I will. Period. Please bring him back. How would you even do that, by the way? Especially since it's been a few years. Phil seems to think for a moment, pulling out a strange-looking flask-like container filled with a dark red liquid from his backpack. I have this flask. It's filled with a liquid that can bring something back to life. Okay, that's good. What do you have to do in order for it to work? Phil was at the flask, thinking for a moment before replying. I just have to pour the liquid on the body of the deceased. It should bring them back to life. Please do. Period. Please do. Exclamation point. I would love to have my friend back. Trico nods, looking serious, and starts to unscrew the cap of the flask. Okay, get ready. I'm ready. Wait, is he gonna splash the robot though? Trico nods, looking a bit nervous but determined as he slowly pours the red liquid out of the flask over Rexy's body. How long does it take to start working? Trico looks at the spilled red liquid that's currently covering Rexy's body. The liquid seems to be seeping into his body. It should be start working any minute now. Hey, Rexy, do you feel anything with your spirit from that robot yet? Rexy seems to be deep in thought before replying slowly. I think I'm starting to feel something. It shouldn't be long now, buddy. Rexy suddenly seems excited as he replies, I feel like I'm starting to connect. I feel like I'm starting to feel a connection to my body again. That's great. That means it might be working. Rexy seems extremely excited now as he adds, oh crap. Yeah, it feels like I'm slowly becoming one with my body again. Guys, it's been long. I'll be right back.